Glover, one-on-one with the basket. Oh, Jaden Glover! With the windmill to send this place into a frenzy.
To the corner, Lawrence. No-look pass, and Wiltshire lays it in.
Wiltshire to the hole. Simeon Wiltshire starting to heat up. He's got 4 points, and Roselle Catholic leads by 11.
Watson to his brother, and Tariq is fouled and hits it. They'll go to the line for one.
They'll pick it up, the clock will move. Lawrence with Adams on him, lost his footing, gets a shot up, and he gets it to go. At the buzzer, Jamarcus Lawrence, a big first quarter for the Nebraska commit. He's going to take it himself. for a championship.
A double play wins it for Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay's on touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Koinonia wins it. The championship.
It is a cold, wet February night, but things starting to heat up here inside the Lions Den at Roselle Catholic as it's the first round of the NJSIAA non-public North B State Tournament as the Roselle Catholic Lions host the Serfs of Koinonia High School. I'm Kevin Connolly, joined alongside Michael Cerroti. Thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday night here on the D1 Media Pro page on the National Federation of High School Sports. And Mike, not to set the scene too much out of proportion, but if there was ever a gigantic mismatch on paper, it's this here tonight.
Yeah, it sure is this game, and I think both teams might know it. And, you know, it should be fun for Roselle Catholic. They're number one in the state. Koinonia, they're coming in definitely outmatched, but it's state tournament time, and every game matters.
For Roselle Catholic, last time out for them, they defeated Linden in the Union County Tournament Championship game to go back-to-back in Union County. So certainly the Lions coming in with a lot of momentum here in this game. And Mike, we'll get into the state bracket a little bit later on as we progress through this game, but we'll take a look at the bracket right now. Roselle Catholic is the 4 seed. Despite being number 1 in New Jersey, despite being Union County Tournament champions, because of power points, the Lions get the 4 seed, and they're forced to play here in this first round.
Yeah, getting the 4 seed is something that, you know, it happens because of power points, and really the reason for that is the national schedule that Roselle Catholic is playing on. They're not playing New Jersey teams, and if you play out-of-state teams, it doesn't count toward your power points. So the games that they play in-state are the only ones that count for state tournament seeding, and they won a lot of games. They have not lost to a New Jersey team, but with that being said, they haven't played as many games in state, and it hurt their seeding, so they do have to play these games, but it still seems like Roselle Catholic is the favorite in the bracket.
Yeah, and well, again, we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but the biggest downside is Roselle Catholic, the 4 seed, potentially would have to go on the road in the non-public North B semifinals to face St. Thomas Aquinas in Edison, so that could be a treble spot for Roselle Catholic. But the winner of this game gets Morris Catholic and Morristown Beard. Once we get a final for that game, we will certainly let you know. That tip-off was 4 o'clock. Take a look at the bottom half of the bracket here. It's because the top 3 seeds might got a bye. You see there Gill St. Bernard's the 2 seed and St. Mary's Rutherford the 3 seed. We have the Immaculate Conception and Pioneer Academy game going on live on our network right now. Last check, midway through the second quarter, it was a 5-point Immaculate Conception lead, 21-16. So certainly we'll keep an eye on that one and every other final that we could potentially get coming down the stretch here in this NJSIAA non-public North B state tournament. Roselle Catholic looking to defend its state championship crown. No TOC this year, Mike, so Roselle Catholic putting all their eggs in the basket here in non-public Group B. We'll stay live right here for the playing of our national anthem live from Roselle Catholic. Roselle Catholic and Koinonia set to go here in the first round of the NJSIAA non-public Group B tournament. Mike, before the national anthem, saying Roselle Catholic trying to defend its title here in non-public Group B.
Yeah, and having a game like this to get started is a nice way to get your momentum going as we get the starting lineups.
We'll take a look at the starters for Koinonia. It'll be Ephraim Lopez, Joe Hardy, Michael Mustados, Nate Wright, and Jacob Hodges, who start for head coach Aaron Wortman of Koinonia. And certainly, Mike, just looking at these two teams warming up, the size mismatch is probably as great as you will see in a New Jersey high school basketball game.
Yeah, and it happens often with Roselle Catholic, right? They have Tariq Watson, Akeel Watson, and Rich Briscoe all listed at 6'8". So it's hard to match that height, but when you have an advantage like this, and it's a clear advantage that Roselle Catholic has height-wise over Koinonia.
You mentioned Tariq Watson made his return in the championship of the Union County Tournament after that scary episode in mid-January at Long Island Lutheran.
And you forget about playing basketball, right? And you just think about Tariq Watson as a human being. And for him to come back after that scary fall is just incredible. And it's not like he came back slowly. He felt ready, and he got back into that game. His first game back was the county championship, and he made his presence known.
He will come off the bench tonight for Roselle Catholic. Sebastian Robinson, Christian Pierre-Louis, Simeon Wiltshire, Akeel Watson, and Rich Briscoe start for head coach Dave Both. Roselle Catholic still will be without senior Duke signee Mackenzie Mbako, still recovering from an ankle injury suffered in that Lehigh game.
Yeah, and Mackenzie thinks he's ready to go. But when you're a senior, you're headed to Duke, there's still a lot of concern. It's easier to re-injure his ankle, and in a game like this, you don't want to say they don't need him, but with the amount of talent that Roselle Catholic has, they have other options to go to.
You see Mbako there in the huddle with the Roselle Catholic starters as he'll give some last words of encouragement. Perhaps he will return on Friday should Roselle Catholic win this game against either Morris Catholic or Morristown Beard. That game can be seen live right here on D1 Media Pro.
And all you have to do right now is look in that center circle, see the height advantage. It's clear.
It'll be Rich Briscoe to jump it up alongside Joe Hardy. Easy win there for Briscoe. And we are underway here inside the Lions' Den. Mike, we were joking a little bit during pregame, talking about Koinonia as Akeel Watson opens the scoring with a right-hand slam, that maybe they want to hold the ball and take advantage of the no shot clock rules here in the Garden State.
Yeah, if you get the first bucket, which they didn't, so now that makes that game plan a little harder, but no shot clock, you could pass the ball around for 32 minutes.
Well, Lopez will get it in the corner. He'll take a three over Watson, and Koinonia has a 1-point lead against Roselle Catholic.
All right, maybe that game plan's not out of the picture quite yet.
They stay in a zone. Akeel Watson on the wing can't answer, and the rebound pulled in by Lopez.
What do you say, Kevin? They can hold the ball for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. We talked about, obviously, again, we still have a lot of time left to be played, but just looking at these two teams on paper, for Koinonia, it certainly will provide some great stories for these players and coaches down the road when you're watching Simeon Wiltshire in North Carolina and Akeel Watson at Arizona State, and perhaps beyond in their basketball careers, that they played a game against them in high school, and, well, it's documented here on D1 Media Pro.
Yeah, they'll be reliving these memories, seeing a lot of these guys go on to play in college, potentially the NBA. You get to say, we traveled there. We had a lead against them in the state tournament.
Ephraim Lopez with 2 3-pointers to start the game for Koinonia, and they will call a timeout. Look at the smiles on their faces. They know what they've done here in these first 90 seconds or so of this game. They have a 6-2 lead against Roselle Catholic, and they're going to savor the moment here for just a little bit. We'll be back right after this here on D1 Media Pro. Welcome back here inside the Lions Den. Koinonia with a 6-2 lead against Roselle Catholic. They call an early timeout. And Mike, playing a game like this, a team like Roselle Catholic has nothing to gain and everything to lose, as Rich Briscoe will slam it down with two hands.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is expecting Koinonia to win this game. So if you're Roselle Catholic, everything to lose is a good way to put it.
It's also when you get some of your most dangerous teams. Look at St. Peter's last year in the NCAA tournament. Really nothing to lose in those games against Kentucky and Murray State and Purdue, and certainly a story for the ages for the Peacocks from Jersey City. On the back door, and Akil Watson with the flush.
Nice look from Sebastian Robinson. Saw Watson cutting and lobbed it up for him to throw it down.
These two teams do have a little bit of a history as a foul's called out on the perimeter. It'll go on Akil Watson. They have played two other times since 2018, all coming in the state playoffs, and Roselle Catholic won both those games, scoring 90 points in those efforts. Ball deflects out of bounds off of Simeon Wilcher. Another three-pointer, this time too strong. It came from Michael Mudasos. Simeon Wilcher down the other end for Roselle Catholic, and it puts them back on top, 8-6. And we'll get a foul on Wilcher on the other end. And Mike, you don't want to say refs call games differently, but for Koinonia, feels like they might have a little bit of the benefit of the whistle here in this game.
Yeah, well, who doesn't want to see a big upset like this? I think everyone would love to.
Looked like Wilcher had a lot of the ball there, but Modastos missed the first free throw.
Yeah, Simeon Wilcher pleading his case, saying that he ran into him.
But Koinonia hanging tough here in the opening 3 minutes against Roselle Catholic. Sebastian Robinson in the corner, too strong on the three ball. Watson tips it to Pierre Louis as Briscoe finishes over the front iron. Mike, feels so important for Roselle Catholic to continue to get good production from Rich Briscoe. I'll get a reach-in foul called on Lopez.
Yeah, Briscoe has, after Watson went down with the scary fall, Briscoe has stepped into the starting lineup, and they do want to keep his production and development up. He's a great player. He's only a junior, and he has a lot of potential to be a star for Roselle Catholic next year.
Sebastian Robinson no good on the three. Pierre Louis on his second follow. And Roselle Catholic with a 5-point lead as Jalen Grant and Tariq Watson will come to check in. But Mike, finishing that point on Briscoe, it feels like he always rises to the occasion in the big moments, specifically last year in the state tournament, as there's an outlet for Akil Watson, and he'll finish with the left hand.
Yeah, Briscoe loves the moment. He does not shy away, and he will do everything he can to win those big games. They played Long Island Lutheran last year, and it was a very close game. And Briscoe just decided to turn that around, and he blocked 2 shots in a row, both dunks. And he's just not afraid of the big-time moment.
Briscoe will sit, as will Christian Pierre Louis. Simeon Wilcher just picked up his second foul. He'll stay on the floor midway through this first quarter. Nice move there from Lopez off the window, no. Outlet pass up ahead for Sebastian Robinson, and he'll take it himself. After the hot start for Koinonia, as that'll be a double dribble. Lopez hit a pair of three-pointers, but still looking for their first field goal since then.
Yeah, 6-2 lead, no field goals since. Roselle Catholic has started to play the Roselle Catholic way.
Wilcher pulls the trigger from way downtown, and Simeon Wilcher with his first triple of the game. On the drive, tough shot, no good. Transition game here for Roselle Catholic, but Robinson fumbled it and stole it right back.
Yeah, that's nothing different than they normally play. Roselle Catholic loves to get out and run.
Three-pointer short by Akeel Watson. Tariq will give him the handoff, and they will not count the basket. They'll say the foul is on the floor. And a timeout is called by Koinonia. After a 6-2 lead, it's been all Roselle Catholic since. 19-7, Lions in front, 2:59 to go in the first quarter. Koinonia calling 2 timeouts here in this first quarter. Roselle Catholic will inbound it inside as Akeel Watson gets fouled right underneath the cup. As Akeel Watson makes the free throw, and that's his 1,000th career point. So Akeel Watson, he's got 7 here in this first quarter, as now he scores 1,000 career points. 2 years at Don Bosco, 2 years here at Roselle Catholic, and Akeel Watson greeted by his teammates out on the floor. And Roselle Catholic will call a timeout to celebrate the moment. Lions burn the timeout as Akeel Watson will go back to the free throw line. And Mike, certainly always a great achievement when you see players reaching that 1,000-point milestone plateau.
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment, and especially for a guy like Akeel Watson, a 4-star recruit, signed to play at Arizona State. And you said it, he played 2 years at Don Bosco Prep and then came over here to Roselle Catholic, made a big impact. And it's just a great achievement for anyone scoring 1,000 points.
Maybe for him, would have liked it in a bit of a more thunderous way than coming at the free throw line, but he'll take it as now he's at 1,001 career points, and it puts Roselle Catholic up by 14, and that ball cannot be saved in the corner as it went right through the hands of Patrick Knob. Sebastian Robinson trying to get on the score sheet, and he does with a triple. It's a 6-2 Koinonia lead. It's a 22-1 Roselle Catholic run since. Travel called on the baseline. Michael Mudastos unable to keep his dribble. Sebastian Robinson wide open underneath. Grant nearly comes away with the steal, but instead they'll call him for the foul. Akil Watson goes to the bench with a lot of high fives and hugs after scoring his 1,000th career point. Lopez has the only 2 field goals for Koinonia. As I'll say, out of bounds off of Roselle Catholic. Hit 2 3-pointers on consecutive possessions. I put his team up 6-2, but it's been all Roselle Catholic since, as Wilcher with the steal and Robinson with the stuff.
Hey, there was a lot of talk that Sebastian Robinson couldn't dunk. He's proven him otherwise.
Well, he might have another chance for another, but Wilcher will try the windmill. And now a timeout is called once again by Koinonia. Mike, they're running out of timeouts. That's their 3rd timeout here in this first quarter with still 1:19 to play.
Trying to put a stop to this, but Roselle Catholic is doing Roselle Catholic things right now. They like to get out and run, and when you have a guy like Simeon Wilcher, he can run, and he will throw it down like he just did on that windmill.
Couple of highlight reel dunks from Robinson and Wilcher. Akil Watson scores his 1,000th career point, and we still have 1:19 to go here in this first quarter as you look inside the Roselle Catholic huddle. And Mike, this is a team with a lot of confidence right now. They're playing well, and you can see that they're talking and connected inside the huddle.
Yeah, this is a great way to start your state championship run. You get a nice confidence booster. Get to throw down some dunks, have fun out there, and just a great way to start your tournament.
Expected that. Some of the reserves further down the bench for Dave Boff will get extended playing time in the second half of this game. But for Koinonia, Mike, maybe that timeout when they led 6-2 didn't do them any favors. It's been all Roselle Catholic since, and they only have 2 timeouts left here with just over a minute to go in the first quarter.
Well, Kevin, they got a break. They got a little more time having a lead over the #1 team in the state.
Another steal. It's Wilcher again, and this time he just skies in for the one-hand flush.
Simeon Wilcher already with 3 dunks, making it look way too easy. And they're all in transition, turnovers leading to offense.
Under a minute to play here in this first quarter. And he comes away with another steal. Wilcher showing out here inside the Lions' den.
That's the 4th transition dunk for Simeon Wilcher. Can't take care of the ball, Wilcher will make you pay.
Well, he's got 11 here in this first quarter. Ethan Mbako nearly came away with a steal. Floater no good. Wilcher got the rebound stripped away from him. Koinonia with a jump shot just below the free throw line, no good. 15 seconds left for the Lions. There's Ethan Mbako trailing and finishing.
Nice heads-up play from Mbako. He came away with the ball, and then he just ran down the court, didn't stop until he got to the rim.
And then we get whistles down the other end with 9/10 of a second left. It'll be a travel on Koinonia. And we'll see if Roselle Catholic can manufacture any magic here with 9/10 of a second left in this first quarter. It'll come into Robinson. That's good if it goes. Oh, he nearly put it in. Just too strong from Sebastian Robinson. 36-7 Roselle Catholic off and running here in the state tournament. We'll be back right after these messages here on D1 Media Pro. Back here inside the Lions' den, it's a 36-7 lead for Roselle Catholic. And Mike, it's a 34-1 run for the Lions to close that first quarter.
Yeah, I think Roselle Catholic realized that they should not have been losing at any point in this game. And they figured it out, and they started to be the Roselle Catholic that we all know.
Akil Watson back in after registering his 1,000th career point at the free throw line earlier in that first quarter. Christian Pierre-Louis got it stolen away on the drive. Up ahead for Joe Hardy, who also gets it stripped. Tariq Watson, 2 dribbles, and he finishes trying to slam it down, but a bit too far for the Roselle Catholic big man. 3-pointer too strong. Akil tracks it down in the corner. Pierre-Louis right to the basket for the finger roll finish. A couple of other non-public state tournament games on our network here tonight. Told you in our open that we have Immaculate Conception against Pioneer. Checked right before the game, and it was a 30-point lead for Immaculate, so it looks like they're going to go on the road and play St. Mary's Rutherford on Friday. Mike, that should be a really good 3-6 matchup as Tariq Watson hits the free throw line jumper. We also have St. Peter's Prep in non-public North A at home against Newark Academy. Tip-off in that game was also at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, some great games. We're coming down the stretch of the season. Always an exciting time in basketball.
Tariq Watson into the corner for Sebastian Robinson, who dribbles to the elbow, takes the pull-up, can't get the bounce. Briscoe nearly with the two-hand putback, bouncing like a pinball. Robinson keeps it alive, and a pretty Euro into the lane. It's a 42-1 run for Roselle Catholic. As that ball just devoured by Watson. You heard the swat from here.
Yeah, that looked more like volleyball than it did basketball. Watson was not having any part of that. He saw it coming, and he didn't even jump. He just put his hand up, brought it down, and we heard that thump from here.
But, Mike, the score aside, you have to give credit to this Koinonia team. Aaron Wortman asked his team when the brackets were going to come out, what did they want to do? Did they want to just punt on the game, not play, and have Roselle Catholic take a bye into the first round, or did they want to come here to Lions Den and give it a crack against Roselle Catholic? And they elected to want to play this game as Sebastian Robinson will maneuver midway through the air for the finish. So they had the option of not coming here and playing this game, but they wanted to give it a crack against Roselle Catholic.
Yeah, and that's just great. You can't go down without a fight, and that's exactly what Koinonia did. They wanted to play this game. They didn't have to, and this score is exactly what was expected, but they came out and played.
Robinson with his second dunk of the game.
Kevin, you ever hear of a 46-1 run?
I really haven't, as that's a deep three-pointer that's too strong from Jacob Hodges, and Robinson trying to put on a little dunk contest show of his own here inside the Lions Den. 50-7, not even midway through the second quarter. And Koinonia just having a tough time dribbling the basketball as Tariq Watson will be called for the reach-in foul. 4 new players going to come on the floor for Roselle Catholic. It'll be Wiltshire, Jalen Maldonado, Ethan Mbako, and Jalen Grant. Only player that's going to stay out there is Sebastian Robinson.
Yeah, and Kevin, Sebastian Robinson is getting closer and closer to 1,000 points. He's within 100, and this game will only help.
Transfer from Elizabeth is Robinson. As he'll pull up for a transition three, no good. And Mbako, the rebound, sends it right back out for Robinson.
And Kevin, you mentioned transfer from Elizabeth, and we say he's close to 1,000. He most likely would have hit that mark a while ago if he did elect to stay at Elizabeth. He completely had to switch roles. Last year when he played for the Minutemen, he averaged more than 20 points a game. but he wanted to play on the national stage, play alongside this type of talent, and Robinson changed his style of play. When you have this much talent, you can't expect to come in and average 20. Robinson knew that, and he has shined. Like, it's hard to do to completely change your style of play, but Robinson did it.
Certainly paying off for him already with the Union County Tournament Championship, and now trying to win another state tournament, because remember, Elizabeth also made a run to the TOC last year after their stellar postseason. Shot in close, no good there from Mudastos. Ball tipped around, Ethan Mbako with the outlet. Sebastian Robinson again throws it down.
4 dunks for Robinson, 4 dunks for Wilcher. The fun rolls on for the Lions.
Mbako gambling, trying to go for the steal. Shot from Hardy in close, no good. Jalen Grant trying to throw it down, but too strong on the dunk.
He can dunk. Might not look like it because he's around 5'10", but he can get up there.
Three-pointer too strong from Hodges. An offensive rebound in close, no good. Hodges again, and he's fouled. And a chance to put an end to this 50-1 run for Roselle Catholic.
You don't hear that often, do you? 50-1 run. That is just video game numbers.
Jacob Hodges at the line, shooting 2 for Koinonia. They'll knock down the free throw. Again, as we get final scores in from non-public North B, we will certainly bring them to you. Only one final in, and it's Immaculate Conception with a victory over Pioneer Academy. Still awaiting the all-important final between Morris Catholic and Morristown Beard. It'll be a matchup between the winner of that game and Roselle Catholic here on Friday night. I believe scheduled for a 6 o'clock start as Robinson adds 2 more to his stat line. .2:15 left to go here in the second quarter. Jalen Grant on the assist from Wilcher. Nice backdoor feed, unable to handle the pass with Nate Wright. Instead it comes to the corner for Hodges, couldn't get it to go. Home run pass to Sebastian Robinson, and he'll flush it with 2.
Sebastian Robinson is just completely emotionless with 5 dunks.
Well, he's got another one, and this time he'll have a crafty finish underneath the basket.
Yeah, I think Sebastian Robinson wants 1,000 points, and he's making it a lot easier for himself right now.
Under 90 seconds to go here in this second quarter. Ball's poked away again. Robinson to the basket. He's got to be closing in on nearly 20 here in this first half with all the fast break points.
Sebastian Robinson came in at 932 points. And at this rate, he might get all 68 tonight.
I don't know how much time he's going to have in the second half. He'll get it once again to the basket. This time he missed, but Jalen Maldonado there and a chance for 3 at the line.
.62 lead for Koinonia. 60-3 run.
Certainly
now
impressive.
62.
Yeah, certainly impressive from Roselle Catholic. The crowd that has filed in here to the Lions Den on this rainy Wednesday in late February, being treated to a show from the hometown Lions.
It's more like a dunk contest,
and
but they're definitely getting a show from Roselle Catholic.
Maldonado completes the 3-point opportunity. Roselle Catholic for this entire second quarter has been in a 2-3 zone, but Koinonia still struggling to move the ball against them. Lopez had it stolen away. Robinson once again with the stuff.
Kevin, that 68 tonight is looking easier and easier by the possession.
At halftime, we'll try and get an update on Sebastian Robinson as Lopez no good. This time it's Simeon Wilcher who lays it in. 60-point lead for Roselle Catholic with 4 seconds left here, as taking the three-pointer and coming up with an air ball. There was Lopez, and that will do it for the first half. It was a dunk contest in the first half for Roselle Catholic, 69-9 over Koinonia after 2 quarters.
Yeah, I think they figured out who they were after they went down 6-2, and I think they just got tired of losing and decided to go up by 60 points.
Well, it was a 67-3 run to end the first half for Roselle Catholic. We'll step aside for our halftime break and be back for the third quarter right after this here on D1 Media Pro.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it the break. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Makayaton touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
Yeah. They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. But feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Glover, one-on-one with the basket. Oh, Jaden Glover! With the windmill to send this place into a frenzy.
To the corner, Lawrence. No-look pass, and Wilcher lays it in.
Wilcher to the hole. Simeon Wilcher starting to heat up. He's got 4 points, and Roselle Catholic leads by 11.
Watson to his brother, and Tariq is fouled and hits it. They'll go to the line for one.
They'll pick it up, the clock will move. Lawrence with Adams on him, lost his footing, gets a shot up, and he gets it to go. At the buzzer, Jamarcus Lawrence, a big first quarter for the Nebraska commit.
You can see the future of the Duke and North Carolina rivalry on D1 Media Pro.
There you see Hubert Davis, head coach of North Carolina, here to see Simeon Wilcher.
Looking live right there at a trio of Duke basketball coaches, John Shire, Nolan Smith, Emil Jefferson. Clock now at 12. Kicks it in the corner. Lively for three. Got it. Derek Lively, a corner three in an early third quarter. As he'll look to go off the dribble here. Goes right around Lively, and he gets the roll. Inbounds to Wilcher. A step back, fade away through contact. Simeon Wilcher. He's out for Mbako. He'll try one from beyond the arc. And Mackenzie Mbako is on fire to start this one. It's his responsibility as Maldonado cranks one into deep left field. You can forget about that. Chris Maldonado with home run number 2 today. He's got
as this one is ripped into left field. A bat flip and a homer for Tyler Beck.
Pitch is hit in the air, left field, going over Fiore. He's back at the track, at the wall. It's gone. A leadoff home run for St. Joseph's Regional. Ellis Garcia gets things started for the Green Knights. Here in the payoff pitch is hit in the air, deep right center field. That ball is high, it is far, and it is gone! A grand slam for Matthew Monteleone. And it kicks and fires. That pitch is hit in the air, deep right field. Get out of town!
Welcome back here inside the Lanes Den. Roselle Catholic with a 69-9 lead as we begin the third quarter against Koinonia. Kevin Connolly, Michael Cerroti with you here on D1 Media Pro, and Mike, 29 from Sebastian Robinson in that first half.
Yeah, closing in on 1,000 points. He's on a mission. He had 5 dunks in the first half, and that might have been his first 5 all season.
Typically in the regular season, in the second half, when it's a 30-plus point margin, we do have a running clock, but since this is the state tournament, those rules are not in effect. So regular running clock here in this third quarter as Sebastian Robinson 11 points away from 1,000 on his career. Misses the 3, but Rich Briscoe there to clean it up inside. Briscoe had 4 in that first half for Roselle Catholic. Mike, for Koinonia, pair of 3-pointers to begin the game, but they haven't made a field goal since.
Yeah, 67-3 run to close out the first half. You don't hear that often.
And those 3 points all came at the free throw line. 2 from Hodges and 1 from Udastos as we get a whistle and a foul called inside. Goes on Roselle Catholic. For Koinonia, though, Mike, their season not over. They have a game scheduled for tomorrow against Thomas Ederson Charter, team that they defeated on opening day. That's the last game on their schedule, according to NJ.com. So perhaps a chance to end their season with a victory as Robinson with the run out. Missed the layup, but Briscoe there for the follow.
Rich Briscoe helping out his teammate Sebastian Robinson a couple times to begin the second half.
Lions staying in that 2-3 zone. What we saw for a large part of that second quarter. A foul called in the backcourt. Will go on Joe Hardy. Mike, at halftime, we checked a couple of final scores in as Wilcher's 3-pointer no, but Watson there on the follow. Morris Catholic with a 40-point victory against Morristown Beard, so it looks like the Crusaders will make the trip down here to Roselle on Friday night for the non-public North B quarterfinal matchup. Also told you that Montclair Immaculate with a victory over Pioneer Academy as Sebastian Robinson adds 2 more, his first 2 points of the second half.
Yeah, Roselle Catholic and Morris Catholic should be much more of a competitive game than this one. Morris Catholic is a good team, and look out for Michelangelo Oberti, a great player for Morris Catholic.
He'll have his hands full down low with the tandem of forwards for Roselle Catholic. Koinonia calls a timeout. We'll step aside for a quick break. Be back after this. Back after the Koinonia timeout. They just have one remaining with 5:30 to go here in the third quarter. New five out there for Roselle Catholic. Ethan Mbako, Tariq Watson, Jalen Maldonado, Jalen Gran, as there is a wedgie on a three-point attempt. So perhaps starters done for Roselle Catholic with this game very much in hand. Watson, free throw line turnaround, no. Rebound falls into the hands of Knob. Mike, I don't want to divulge too much information with our schedule for Friday night, but we're going to have a loaded slate of games here on D1 Media Pro in the non-public quarterfinals.
State tournament time always calls for a lot of matchups and a lot of good ones on D1 Media Pro.
Yeah, don't want to, I guess, show my hand too early because I know there are a couple of first-round games still in progress and not sure on those scores, and some also tipping off around 7 o'clock, so don't want to divulge too much, but we are anticipating some high-level matchups in non-public A and non-public B here on D1 Media Pro, but certainly one game we will have. It'll be Roselle Catholic and Morris Catholic, as there's a corner three halfway down and out, and Baco with the offensive rebound. Jalen Grant lines up a three and drills it. And Mike, now you're in the tough situation if you're Dave Boff, where you're going to play some guys that don't play as much on your team, but you don't really want to tell them just to go out there and not play.
And especially for the younger guys, you want to keep their development up. This is a great time. Get them some more playing time. See what they can do.
That three-pointer was halfway down for Lopez. They still have not made a field goal since the opening two possessions of this game, and now looked like the instructions from the Roselle Catholic bench were to slow things up and hold for a while, but Ethan Mbako takes the free throw line jumper. And Mike, it should be noted that this was an anticipated score of this game. And certainly seeing it on the scoreboard is definitely startling, but just the pure talent on both these teams. You're looking at Roselle Catholic, best team in New Jersey, probably one of the top 30 teams in the country. Koinonia, just a really small private school in Plainfield. School that really you don't see often. It's a pre-K through grade 12 and right around 300 students in the institution. So
yeah, it's a completely different school than Roselle Catholic and most of the other private schools in New Jersey. Koinonia's student-teacher ratio is 5-to-1.
Three-pointer for Mbako. He's got the last five for Roselle Catholic.
More reserves set to check in for RC at the whistle.
As there's the first field goal since the first quarter. It comes from Michael Murastos. 2 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Maldonado, the rebound for Roselle Catholic. Tariq Watson, the three-pointer in the corner.
Watson and his teammates all fired up. He's not a shooter, but he's showing off his range.
Yeah, he's getting high fives and a big smile on his face as he ran back down the defensive end. He knows that when the other four guys are out there on the floor, he's not taking that three-pointer, but in a game like this, he has the opportunity, and he made the most of it. Minute to go here in this third quarter, and they're going to foul from behind on Watson. Looks like Tamir Baston and Jaden Chichester going to check in for Roselle Catholic after this first free throw, or I should say second free throw, because it's 3 shots upcoming from Mudastos. It'll be Watson, Maldonado, and Grant to check out for the Lions. Mudastos goes 2 for 3 from the line. Minute to go here in this third quarter. Roselle Catholic going to cruise into the quarterfinals, the non-public North B State Tournament. Lions look like they're going to hold for 1 here to end this third quarter as well. And something certainly to keep an eye on for Roselle Catholic in that quarterfinal game, as Chichester no good on the 3. Sebastian Robinson will be knocking on the door of 1,000 career points. Saw Akil Watson reach that feat at the free throw line here tonight, and Robinson doing his part with 31 in the game to get him on the cusp of 1,000 points for his career.
Yeah, I think he wants that 1,000. He thought about doing it all today. 29 in the first half.
Lopez at the line for Koinonia. Lions now will hold for 1 with 10 seconds to go in the third. They lead 88-14. Go on the wing, three-pointer from Basden, no good. Koinonia secures the rebound. Their heave down the other end is well short. 8 minutes left to play here inside the Lions Den. 88-14, Roselle Catholic on front.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling.
88-14, Roselle Catholic on top of Koinonia. Kevin Connolly, Michael Cerrone with you live here on D1 Media Pro. Give you a look at the bracket here in NJSIAA non-public North B. Assuming Roselle Catholic will hold on here in these final 8 minutes, they'll play Morris Catholic in the quarterfinal round on Saturday night here inside the Lions Den. Still waiting for finals to come in between the 8-9 matchup of Timothy Christian and Eastern Christian. Winner of that game plays St. Thomas Aquinas. Bottom half of the bracket, Immaculate Conception with a victory over Pioneer Academy. Gil St. Bernard's awaiting the winner of Saddle River Day and Hawthorne Christian. We're underway here in this fourth quarter. Koinonia with the basketball to begin the fourth frame. Reserves in for the Lions as Lopez lines up to three, and he's got his third triple of the game.
And he had those first two and then went quiet, as did most of the team. But showing off his range today.
Nice feed into the corner. Basden the three.
Nice pass by George Boley. Great heads-up play. And Basden knocking it down.
Roselle Catholic now just 9 points away from the century mark. Down low, there's the finish in close from Patrick Knob. Tomorrow we have Section 2, Group 4 quarterfinals. It'll be the runners-up in Union County, the Linden Tigers, taking on Franklin. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. You can watch it live right here on D1 Media Pro. Into the corner, Knob left open. Off the side of the glass, they'll get it right back. Can't finish, the shot in close. Mike, we talked about it in our pregame as we get a foul on Roselle Catholic, that this Lion team, as the 4 seed, based on power points, really seems like they're not at a disadvantage, but they could be come the semifinals if they have to go to Edison to face St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, and if they did have that 1 seed, which you could argue they should, if it weren't for power points, they're the #1 team in the state. So, and #1 seed maybe should be theirs. But power points, again, they played a lot of out-of-state teams, and you don't get any power points for those games. So they got the 4 seed, and it could end up hurting them in the future.
Nate Wright drills the triple, and you can make the point and counterpoint that for every sport besides football, the NJSIAA seeds their state tournament brackets based on power points. I mean, it's a moot point now, but even Camden, for how good they are, they weren't the 1 seed in their bracket, but eventually they got disqualified for their altercation in their county championship game against Camden Eastside. But Roselle Catholic didn't play a Union County team all season long, and still, because there was a seeding committee, was awarded the #1 seed in the Union County tournament. And for them, it probably makes a little bit less of a difference because in Union County, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and championship are all played at a neutral location.
Yeah, and for the sectional tournament, it's different. As you mentioned, they'll have to go on the road if they get there and if St. Thomas Aquinas gets there. So it does come into play whether they should be the 1 seed or if power points have them at the 4 seed. Is that the spot they should be in? They're the 4 seed, so they'll have to deal with what comes.
And certainly you'll know they're up for a challenge. There's a home run 3-pointer from Jacob Hodges.
That's a deep one.
Both these teams' offenses starting to come along a little bit as we're discussing power points here with just under 4 minutes to go as George Boley goes to the hole. Lopez trying to keep it alive, but threw it out of bounds. And a timeout will be called by Koinonia. 3:17 left to play here in the fourth quarter, and Koinonia burns their final timeout. We'll take a break as well here on D1 Media Pro. We'll be back for the final 3:17 right after this. .317 to play here in the fourth quarter. Koinonia burned their final timeout. Boley drops it off. Basden can't get it to go. On the follow, it's Chichester, and a foul called underneath. Kevin Connolly, Michael Cerrone with you live here inside the Lions Den at Roselle Catholic High School. First round of the NJSIAA non-public North B state tournament. Roselle Catholic on the cusp of reaching the century mark with 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Right? They had a triple earlier this quarter. Too strong that time. And Mike, with no TOC this year as a finish right at the rim for Chichester, that puts Roselle Catholic over 100 points. It feels like your non-public Group A winner and your non-public Group B winner will certainly make the case for the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state this year, with Camden not being eligible anymore for the state tournament. Who are you looking at in non-public Group A and B to come out as state champions?
Well, B, you have to look at Roselle Catholic. Obviously the front runner, number 1 team in the state. They have shown why they should be talked about as the team that will win. And for non-public A, it looks like Don Bosco Prep is the front runner to win. There's more competition in that bracket in terms of highly ranked teams, but Don Bosco looks to be the best one.
We were talking about on Saturday in the Hudson County Tournament Championship game. Obviously, Tahad Pettiford made his season debut for the Hawks in that game. They eventually lost to St. Peter's Prep, but if Hudson Catholic defeats Paramus Catholic, where that should be tipping off right about now over in Paramus, if they were to win that game, they'd get a matchup with Don Bosco, and all of a sudden that game becomes a little bit more interesting with Pettiford on the floor for Hudson Catholic.
Yeah, Tahad Pettiford, 5-star recruit, recently committed to Auburn, tore his meniscus right before the season started. Hudson Catholic, I mean, they just had to deal with so much before the season even started. He went down with the meniscus injury. Elijah Gertrude is a 4-star, signed with UVA. He tore his ACL, and both of them came in preseason events. They were playing. It didn't have any implications on the team, on their schedule, and they both were injured. And it looks like Gertrude will be out for the remainder of the season. We thought Tahad Pettiford would probably be out as well, but he made his return, and he's just, if he gets his groove going again, finds his legs, and remembers how to play team basketball, especially with that team that has changed since last year, then Hudson Catholic is a threat in the state tournament.
Yeah, you look at a potential quarterfinal matchup in non-public North A between Seton Hall and Bergen Catholic, although Don Bosco has had their way 3 times this year with the Crusaders. Then look at the bottom of the bracket. A little bit of a sleeper down there as the 3 seed. That team from Jersey City in the Marauders of St. Peter's Prep. They played Don Bosco right to the wire in the second game of the season.
Yeah, St. Peter's Prep is a great team. They always are. Good coaching. They run deep, and they might not have star players, but they have guys who can fill up the stat sheet, and they have team players who know how to win.
Yeah, they don't have a Mark Armstrong from last year, but perhaps a little bit deeper and a little bit more cohesion with the Marauders as they're in front right now of Newark Academy in their first-round matchup of the state tournament. As a foul is called on Koinonia, it'll be their 6th. 19.6 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter, but Roselle Catholic going to come away with a commanding victory here in the first round of the NJSIAA non-public North B
and
state
Kevin,
tournament.
They just throw it back to Kadar Scott to dribble out the clock, and he's smiling catching the ball.
Koinonia trying to take an offensive foul in the final seconds, but the referee's letting this clock run out. There's your final horn and the final score. Roselle Catholic 101, Koinonia 25. Lions will advance to play Morris Catholic in the quarterfinals of the NJSIAA non-public North B State Tournament on Friday night, right here inside the Lions Den, 6 p.m. tip-off, and you can catch it live right here on D1 Media Pro. Again, an up-to-the-minute look at the bracket here in non-public North B. No final yet in on the Timothy Christian Eastern Christian game, but the winner gets St. Thomas Aquinas. Bottom half of the bracket, really interesting game between St. Mary's Rutherford and Immaculate Conception as Gill St. Bernard's awaits either Saddle River Day or Hawthorne Christian. For Michael Cerroti, I'm Kevin Connolly. Thanks for tuning into this presentation of New Jersey high school basketball right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the National Federation of High School Sports. Roselle Catholic survives and advances. They defeat Koinonia 101-25 in the first round of the non-public Group B state tournament.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it from Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. The Coyotes touchdown.